G'day everyone, I am the Red Scar. This is Red Scar Gaming. Today I'm doing my summary of my 10th draft of Wild Veldrain, which, frankly was pretty damn unsuccessful. Though, in all honesty, I'd blame most of it on luck. There was, I think, 3 of the games basically that I just didn't have the land I needed, and considering that this is generally a pretty low mana curve sort of stuff, though, there's definitely exceptions, but I just didn't draw the cards I needed. I didn't draw planes when I needed them, and I didn't draw the third, fourth, fifth land that I might have needed at some stage. But hey, look, bad luck happens occasionally, and let's see what we can learn from this deck. Fairy Dream Thief was one of the cards that I did get actually fairly often, and it's good turn one. It's not amazing, but I'm glad I drafted that one. Though, if I had a chance to get a second, that'd be lovely. Warehouse Tabby didn't get as much use out of as I'd sort of initially hoped for, because I was sort of building a little bit around enchantment tribal, if that's the word I'm looking for, which, Warehouse Tabby would have been good in, but didn't quite get that as much as I wanted to. Maybe I should have leaned on that a bit more, but yeah, feel free to correct me there. Return Triumphant, I did get some use out of, though. Uh, I think it was only twice actually, but the first time I used it was effective, and the second time was just sort of I had nothing else to do, so may as well do it. And I still lost that last game anyway, so that's all right. It's still a good card though, and I'll definitely draft it next time. Shrouded Shepherd, I didn't get as much use as I'd sort of hoped. Though in draft, Cleave Shadows is, look, it's not amazing, but it's not terrible, and it can be very useful. And its ETB, just as the Spirit Warrior creature bit, is certainly useful at the right time. Though it's certainly not going to win you the game just by itself. It's it's a it's a 2/2 creature for 2 that has other abilities, so it's good. I definitely draft it again. Unassuming Sage, it's one of those cards that I really do like in that if you play it turn 2, look, you're not wasting 2 mana. If you play it turn 4, you're not wasting 4 mana. It's not great either way, but it's versatile, so I still like it. I just didn't get as much use out of it as I probably wanted to this time. Monstrosity is is a card that, look, I know a lot of people have had success with, and a lot of people have not had success with. I didn't do particularly well with it this time, though. It probably wasn't in the best deck as far as its usefulness. But it's still a good card. I'm still happy with it. Sugar Rush, actually Sugar Rush I didn't get nearly as much use out of as I probably wanted. The whole draw card bit didn't really help, and the few times that I did draw it, I actually had to discard it a fair bit. That was against, I think, was it second game? First game. First game, my opponent basically got me to discard a lot of cards, and Sugar Rush was about the only thing I could discard at the time. That's just sort of bad luck on Sugar Rush's attempt. But still happy with it. I'm glad I didn't keep any more than 2 though, at least in hindsight. Moment of Valor, I maybe relied on it a little too much as far as its usefulness in the drafting of it. It is good in the whole destroy target creature with power 4, and it's good with the sort of combat trick, save your creature from dying sort of thing. I didn't quite get to use it as effectively as I'd hoped for. But look, maybe it's good luck, maybe it's bad luck. Conceited Witch, once again, I didn't get the opportunity to use Price of Beauty as much as I probably wanted to. 2/3 mana, she's fine. And look, even if you never play Price of Beauty, Conceited Witch is still a decent card. So, I'd go with her again in this sort of deck. Rowan's Grim Search, draw cards, lose 2 life is pretty good regardless of where you go. I did actually get to bargain with it game 5, so Yeah, it was pretty effective that time. I got exactly what I wanted, so it was very good that time. It was just a bit too late game for me to particularly get good use out of it. Voracious Vermin, I did draft pretty early actually, partly so if I accidentally got a few too many rats, then I'd sort of go with them. It didn't get nearly as much use as I've seen it have before, though it might just be I didn't quite have as many creatures as I probably should have for Voracious Vermin to be useful. It's still a good card, though in this deck maybe I shouldn't have gone with it. Fell Horseman, I did say while I was drafting that I was sort of hoping it would be a bit of a return from graveyard deck, which I did get a little bit of return from graveyard stuff, but Fell Horseman did none of it. Which, look, I'm not sad, but I sort of wish that Fell Horseman was a bit more useful in that sense. Though maybe it was my opponent's sort of one uh, too soon for Fell Horseman to be useful. I did play him as a creature a few times, and having 3 of him in the deck is good. But I suppose for your uh, one of your biggest creatures in this entire deck is a 3/3. I know I was a bit low the whole time, but that's partly why I have return from graveyard sort of stuff. But yeah, it just didn't pull its weight this time, which hey, I learned from. Stingblade Assassin. Once again, during the draft, I said that it's basically so I can chump block with, say, Warehouse Tabby, and then play Stingblade Assassin to take out whatever it blocked. Did not get the use for it at all this time. Didn't play it at all this time. But I didn't get to play Ariat's Tempting Apple either this draft. There's no situation where I probably would have been able to use it had I the mana or had I the situation or something like that. So in this particular case, Ariat's Tempting Apple might not have been the choice to have, but I did draft it because I knew that most of my creatures were a bit low, and if I sort of got to a situation where my opponent has, say, a 6/6 or something out, and I just can't really attack, I'd go Ariat's Tempting Apple, grab the big creature and make that one good attack, even if I don't win off that, just maybe get ahead of my opponent or something like that. But just didn't get the opportunity to use it this time. I've had plenty of success with Tempting Apple before though. Scream Puff, I got to play it once, I think, and I'm still happy with it in general. Like I know it's not game winning every time or anything, but it does have its moments, and I do like to have at least one sort of just big dumb creature in deck, regardless of what deck you're playing. Because sometimes it is just, hey, my number's bigger than yours, so yeah, go with that. Shatter the Oath. Look, I've always been a little bit scared of it because it's 5 mana, sorcery speed, and destroy target creature. The fact that it gives you a Wicked roll token to something certainly helps. But yeah, look, I just didn't get the chance to use it. Partly because I didn't have the land, but partly just I didn't have the opportunity to use it. And 5 mana is a lot. I'd rather draft something like Murder, say, which I know is not in this set, but draft that instead of Shatter the Oath. But look, I just didn't have the option and I didn't get to use it, so I had 2 wasted Shatter the Oath floating around. Twisted Sewer Witch, I know from the start that it wasn't going to be a game winner in this deck, but it didn't get to play it at all, did I? So yeah, once again, it's just sort of bad luck didn't go my way. As far as lands are concerned, Crystal Grotto I'm still happy with. I didn't really need it, but it's not a bad card anyway, so I'm happy I drafted it. As far as the other cards, now this could be interesting because at some stage I was basically thinking, do I want to lean on enchantment or do I want to lean on return target creature from graveyard sort of stuff? There's no real definitely should have gone one instead of the other. If I had gone, say, enchantment heavier, and I'm just spitballing a little bit here, but I would have probably gone get rid of Tabby, put in Slumbering Keepguard, get rid of maybe even Sugar Rush for Griffin Airy. Get rid of at least one Fell Horseman for Savior of the Sleeping, and Rhyme for Render, probably Voracious Vermin. Vampiric Rites I might have been able to go with, maybe even another Fell Horseman. Sugar Rush wouldn't have needed another one. Dream Spoilers wouldn't have taken that. Eret's Whisper, maybe get rid of Shatter the Oath. And yeah, Scream Puff. But there's nothing that I'm looking at going, I definitely should have gone Enchantment instead of Return from Graveyard. Though, I didn't get any Return from Graveyard stuff really, so I suppose maybe with the power of hindsight, and disagree with me if you want, but maybe I should have gone Enchantment heavy, or heavier, tribal. But yeah, I don't think it would have gone too much better. I suppose the only thing I really, really want out of that, or at least really, really want to be successful, would be maybe plunge into Winter, actually, instead of, say, Sugar Rush. It is, because in hindsight, though it might just be a bit of luck, but in hindsight, most of the time my opponents won because they were faster than me, and Plunge into Winter would have given me maybe an extra turn, say, and that other card. But having said that, though, there was I've got a lot of turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 creatures that, okay, even if they're not particularly powerful, like they can at least chump block or something. So, and Plunge into Winter doesn't help much there. Savior of the Sleeping is 2/3 Vigilance is good. Yeah, maybe in hindsight I should have taken that out instead of Voracious Vermin, because Voracious Vermin works when it works, but it does not work when it does not work. I think in this case it didn't work. So yeah, Savior of the Sleeping would have been better in this case, I think. Ego Drain, not a huge fan of it anyway. Vampiric Rites also. Sugar Rush. Yeah, as I said while I was drafting it, it's pretty good. And maybe I should have gone with a third. Just because I've got lots of small things. Maybe I suppose instead of Shatter the Oath. Because while Sugar Rush isn't destroy target creature, you can basically use it as destroy target creature. So I suppose instead of Shatter the Oath, but yeah, I didn't get good use out of Sugar Rush anyway. So yeah, that's a tough one. Dream Spoilers. It's a bit more fairy centric. The 2/2 flying is certainly fine, but for 4 mana you got to be a bit careful with. Eret's Whisper is more the control side, and I wasn't particularly playing control. I suppose, maybe Scream Puff instead of maybe even Voracious Vermin or Eret's Temple maybe. But I didn't get much use out of him anyway. So yeah, is it because I didn't have enough in my deck, or because I just didn't come across the situation enough? As far as all the red cards, I don't think I got like sort of any red cards that I would have wanted. Raid Bombardment's fun, but yeah, you just have to have the right deck for it. Spider Food, once again, I wouldn't have splashed green for that. It has its moments, but yeah, not many. And Neva, if I was going that enchantment side of things, Neva would have been better. Yeah, though once again, what do I put in instead of it? Maybe, maybe get rid of Twisted Sewer Witch. Unassuming Sage, maybe. Got to be careful though, because she's 4 mana cost for 2/2 menace. Okay, not bad, but 4 mana, you got to make sure you build on it a bit. So yeah, I'm ultimately disappointed with that draft. Somewhat, as I said before, I suppose I should have leaned on the enchantment rather than graveyard stuff, but I don't think that would have done particularly well anyway. But hey, feel free to disagree with me. That's partly what YouTube's for, so you can disagree with complete strangers on the other side of the world who speak funny. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. See you later.